In writing today, we're going to continue our discussion on narrative writing. And we're going to talk about, what do book covers tell us? What does a book cover tell you? Think about that. I know in kindergarten and first and second grade that every time a teacher has started off, just about every time they have started off reading you a story, they will hold up a book and they will say, "What do you think this book is about?" So, what does a book cover tell you? What do these book covers tell us? We've seen them before earlier this week. They tell us that these are narrative stories. They are stories about characters that are telling a story about themselves. Narrative stories entertain the reader. And these are some more examples of narrative stories. Narrative stories are all about a main character. Remember when we discussed this on Monday? BFG is about a big giant and he is telling a story. Charlotte's Web is about the spider telling the story. Harry Potter, Junie B. Jones. All of these are characters telling the main character of the story, telling the story. The main character has a problem or an adventure. Brave Irene must bring the dress to the Duchess. If you haven't read this book, you need to try to find it and read it. It's a fun story. So, what do these covers tell us? On Monday, we discussed narrative writing. And then on Tuesday, we discussed expository writing or informational writing. And so these book covers tell us that the author is writing to inform us, to give us information. And so trains, you could look at the cover and know that that book is going to tell you something about trains. Polar bears, it's going to be about polar bears. Tornadoes, predators is going to talk about different kinds of predators. See how the book cover looks real? The title is the topic, what the book is all about. Good readers look at the book cover to make predictions about the genre. The genre is what category the book would fall in. For instance, look at this book cover. The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. Is that narrative or expository? How do you know? Was this written to entertain you, or was it written to give you information? Is the cover make-believe, or does it look real? Read the title. Do you think these little wolves have a problem? If you guess that this is a narrative story, you are right. This is a narrative story. How about this book? Narrative or expository? Does the cover look real? Is the title a topic? Will it teach you something? If you guess that this is informational or expository, you are right. You guessed it right. This is an expository or informational book about tigers. Great job. Look at this book. Is it narrative or expository? Informational. How do you know that? What about this one? Things on Wheels. Narrative or expository? Informational. How do you know that's what it is? Weather. Narrative or expository? Informational. How do you know? The first one was narrative. The second one was expository. The third one is expository. The two expositories have a real live picture. The narrative has a fictional picture. Narrative or expository? How do you know? If you guess narrative, you are correct. The story is a narrative. Which is which? Frogs and toads. Frog and toad together. Which is narrative? Which is informational expository? If you said frogs and toads is informational expository, you were correct. And if you said frog and toad together is narrative, you are correct. How do we know that? Because this has real life pictures of an actual frog and tadpoles. This one has a fictional drawing. Whenever you read, predict the genre first. Look at the cover and see if it's going to be a narrative or an expository informational writing. Making predictions make good readers. Let's review. Narrative stories focus on a character who has a problem or adventure. The author's purpose is to entertain us. Informational, expository, nonfiction books focus on a topic. The author's purpose is to inform us. The covers look real. Look at book covers before you read to make predictions. Think about the genre and author's purpose every time you read. For your assignment today, you are going to eat pie. I'm just kidding. You're going to learn what I like to call pie. And it is learning about how to predict if the story is informative or if the story is entertaining. You will have a lot of fun on this activity.